Good evening, my friends. This is Paul, and in a rather unusual move for me, I'm going to be reviewing a video game while I'm on a mission trip, because right now everyone else is watching The Great Gatsby. I'm not really interested, so I figured, you know what, might as well work on my channel while I don't have access to a computer. So, anyway, I'm going to be reviewing Donkey Kong Jr. for the NES, played on the NES Classic Edition. Donkey Kong Jr.'s premise is that after Donkey Kong wreaked havoc in the first Donkey Kong game, Mario decided to capture Donkey Kong in a cage, and his son sets out on a quest to rescue him, or at least that's implied, because the game doesn't have any storyline or opening cutscene like the arcade version did. Junior controls pretty much like Mario did, for better or for worse. The main difference is that he can climb up vines. When he climbs up one vine, he only moves really slowly, but if he climbs up 2 vines at a time, he moves up really quickly. But then he moves down really quickly if he holds on to 2 vines, but he can slide down the other one like a fireman does the pole. I found that the controls were one of the game's worst problems. For its time, they weren't particularly terrible. I mean, the climbing controls worked really well. It was the jumping that was the problem. It felt always like once I started the jump, I was out of control. Like there was no analog input or any of the wonderful innovations that Super Mario Bros. Brought to the gaming industry. So the first couple of levels were quite a chore, and I had to reset the game more times than I admit just because the controls weren't working. Thankfully, the game gets much, much better as the game goes along. Like, by the time you get to level 3, it's pretty much effortless to jump over the enemies and get to the top of each level, where you're able to push Mario a step further along in keeping Donkey Kong Jr. away from his dad until you finally rescue him. The last level is stupid easy, though. Like, once you get to the level where there's a bunch of chains and keys that you have to pop up, I didn't even have to worry about any hazards or anything. It felt like the game just kind of gave up at that point. The music is also super boring and forgettable, and apart from the neat strategy of what vines to hold, the game is over within like 5 minutes if you know what you're doing, 3 minutes if you're a speedrunner, and probably more like 2 minutes if you're a speed demon. If you already have the NES Classic Edition, you're getting this game anyway and can beat it really easily, but I would only download this on Virtual Console if you have a gift card if you're desperate for Donkey Kong's history. I know some people are going to say this is a masterpiece. Personally, I disagree, but it's also very short, so I'm okay with them having that opinion without me. With that, thank you very much for watching, and until the next time, keep the faith, stay epic, God bless, and like I said in my Donkey Kong Country DLC for Mario plus Rabbids, eat banana skins. They're actually healthier than bananas themselves. Bye!